I know that you work at the club.
Guys, hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Geneva. This is Geneva in General. And unfortunately, guys, our USC Trojans, they were not able to do it. They were not able to defeat the UConn Huskies, okay? Unfortunately, of course, they did not have JuJu Watkins. They just lost with the final score, the game conclusion being the UConn Huskies on top at 78 points, whereas the USC Trojans were only able to make 64 points. This game had me holding out hope, okay? Even though, JuJu Watkins, she just tore her ACL. Of course, she was not able to participate in this game. It's like the other games that she has not been able to participate in due to injury. I was like, you know what? In the first quarter, the Trojans was given, the Huskies a little bit of run for their money, okay? We were in front by like 6-7 points. We're up. And then the UConn Huskies, they were able to find that rhythm. They found their spots. They found, that defensive mechanisms, and they found that them offensive skills. And we just did not have an answer for them. And again, honestly, I'm sorry I got to keep on reiterating on this, but Lindsey Gottlieb, okay, the head coach of USC Trojans, I believe it's time for her to be under fire. She is the problem, if not one of the problems, but at the same time, she is the coach, okay? Now, she's not an assistant coach. She is the head coach. We need to really take a look at her, an honest, long look. And with our analysis of Lindsey Gottlieb, okay, the head coach of the USC Trojans, we need to come to the conclusion that it might be time for her to go. Let me give you some game stats, guys, at first, and then I'm going to go in on the team. So in the first quarter, the Huskies were able to score 14 points. The Trojans scored 11 points. The second quarter kicks off. The Huskies scored 25 points. The freaking Trojans only scored 14 points. The third quarter kicks off. The Huskies scored 12 points. The Trojans scored 21 points. Okay, we were finally getting to that groove, okay? The third quarter, I began to, put more faith and restored my faith and hope and humanity in the Trojans. But of course, the fourth quarter came and everything just crumbled. So in the fourth and final quarter, the Huskies scored 27 points, whereas the Trojans only scored 18 points. Again, everybody on the Huskies was pretty much a threat. Okay, Caitlin Chin, she was doing her thing. She would literally drive into the basket, drive into the paint like a kamikaze. Didn't care about getting hurt, didn't care about getting fouled, getting knocked upside the head. Her and KK Arnold as well. But Sarah Strong, okay, in that first quarter, again, she's a 6'2", a powerhouse of a guard. She made an incredible three, and it's like it changed the entire trajectory and the motion and the temperature of that game. So Paige Becker's guys, she put up 31 points, had 6 assists and 3 rebounds. Sarah Strong put up 22 points, had 4 assists, 17 rebounds. AZ Fudd had 8 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound. Caitlin Chin had 15 points, 2 assists, 0 rebounds. For the USC Trojans, Kiki Finn had 10 points, 1 assist, 6 rebounds. Avery Howell had 9 points, 0 assists, and 4 rebounds. Kennedy Smith had 7 points, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds. And then Rhea Marshall, I'm actually so shocked. Rhea Marshall is actually the leading scorer, okay, of tonight's game when it was the USC Trojans up against the freaking UConn Huskies. Rhea Marshall had 23 points, 1 assist, and 15 rebounds. She was still missing too many rebounds from me, okay? She was really getting me so frustrated. I'm like, Rhea Marshall, she's like, what, 6'4", 6'5"? What's the point of having that height, that type of frame, if you ain't gonna get no rebounds? Just laziness. Her and Kiki Arafin, this ain't the first time. Kiki Arafin does this in every game. She'll literally just guard her person or her parameter, allow the ball, okay, the rebound to come out of the basket, don't do nothing. She'll just stare at it and stay away. Why? Run up and get the freaking ball. Talia von Allenhofen, she had 10 points, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds. Kaylee Heckel had 5 points, 0 assists, 1 rebound. Let's break down some overall team stats. Okay, the Huskies were 27 for 60. That translates into a field goal percentage of 45%, whereas the Trojans were 19 for 58, which translates into a 32% field goal percentage. For three-pointers, the Huskies were 10 for 22, or 45.5%, whereas the Trojans were 3 for 13, 23.1%. Free throws, Huskies were 14 for 17, or 82.4% accuracy, whereas the Trojans were 23 for 26, or 88.5% accuracy. The Huskies had 33 rebounds, whereas the Trojans had 45. Huskies had 16 assists, the Trojans had 7. Huskies had 2 blocks, the Trojans had 2 blocks. Huskies had 10 steals, the Trojans had 8 steals. Huskies had 12 turnovers, the Trojans had 15 turnovers. The Huskies had 17 fouls, whereas the Trojans had 18 fouls. Now it's time to get into this coach. Okay, I'm sick of her. I don't care what y'all say. I can't keep on making excuses for sorry coaches. Now, it is a fact. Unfortunately, this is our reality. JuJu Watkins has torn her ACL.
'Cause I believe that you're my...
Now, had she been in this game, would there have been perhaps maybe a different trajectory, an entirely different outcome in this game? Maybe, but again, the world will never know. Why? Because she wasn't in this game. She is still recovering from injury. I'm not even sure if she got the surgery yet, right? She just got injured on Monday. So, but again, like what we do know, okay, is we had Kiki Finn, Kennedy Smith, the likes of Talia von Ollenhoffen, Avery Howell, Rand Marshall, etc., trying to make an impact. What I did not see in this game, which is a huge problem, this is a reoccurring issue for Coach Lindsey Gottlieb, is there are no plays being made. You are the coach of this team, of these girls. You are the leader. You are the general in charge. You are the one who are, moving pieces around on that chessboard in order to complete plays, in order to stay in the game and keep us competitive and strong. We getting murdered out there. I don't see no timeouts being called. And when there is a timeout, I don't know what should be telling them. I really wish, like, the cameras, okay, I'm messy. Why can't the world of basketball, specifically women's basketball, be messy? Anytime, the rare occasion when she or another coach, calls a timeout, have the camera and the microphones get into them, okay? Y'all need to smuggle a camera and a microphone into the huddle. I want to know so badly, what in the world do Lindsey Gottlieb be telling these Trojans? What does she be telling the team? Because as soon as the huddle breaks and it's time for game to resume, it's game on time, I don't be seeing no freaking plays being made. You can tell. You can tell because, like, when you look at, say, Gino Ariema, okay, for the Huskies, you can tell, like, he was like, we're going to go on a fast break. I need Caitlin Chen. You're going to be right here at the top of the key. KK Arnold, you're going to be guarding so-and-so. I want y'all to, use KK Arnold as a decoy, have her drive into the paint, and then throw that ball as quickly as you can to Caitlin Chen. Make an easy three, okay? You got the hand-eye coordination, okay? You've been drinking your, carrot juice. I know you can see. You got that 20/20 vision. I know you're a great three-point shotter. Okay, three-point maker. So make that three for us, Caitlin Chen. Lindsey Gottlieb don't have that concept in her mind. It's like she just call a timeout and she just tells them some feel-good nonsense. She just possibly just be yelling at them. Why aren't y'all doing this right? Why aren't y'all doing that right? No, why aren't you making plays to put them in a position to win? Put them in a position of advantage. All I'm going to say is Dawn Staley would never, okay? Y'all can say what y'all want to say, but it's becoming clear to me that Lindsey Gottlieb is just not the best coach, okay, for the USC Trojans. Unfortunately, it showed in tonight's game. We are not able to advance into the Final Four. It is what it is. Again, it's a lot of woulda, shoulda, coulda, what if, and the possibilities, if JuJu Watkins wasn't injured. It is what it is. Again, this is our reality. The UConn Huskies are now able to advance into the Final Four. Again, I don't like to see people lose their jobs, okay? This might come across as harsh, but it's like, we in it to win, okay? We're not here to coddle nobody. I'm tired of everybody being, just a sensitive generation. If you can't get the job done, then fall back, okay? So there's plenty of other people who got strategy. They understand the game of war, okay, the art of chess. They understand, strategy, technique, consistency, discipline, okay? When it comes to being a head coach, you are the leader, okay? When a ship sinks or a ship wrecks, we look at the captain of the ship. Yeah, we're going to get into, the people who running the sailors, the seamen. We're going to get into them when we get into them. But right now, all eyes are on the captain of the ship. The captain of the ship being USC Trojans, okay, the captain is none other but the head coach, Lindsey Gottlieb. It's time for us to say no to Lindsey. Guys, comment down below your thoughts on tonight's game, on the USC Trojans losing. And also, if I may ask, please comment down below who you may think would be a better coach, who would serve as a better coach and leader, not just a coach, but a leader for the USC Trojans. Comment down below.